Dear learners, welcome back to SWAYAM program on IT applications in libraries. Today we are going to discuss on e-publishing, legal and ethical issues with a special reference to Sherpa-Romeo and Creative Commons. E-publishing or electronic publishing has transformed how information is created, distributed and consumed. However, this digital evolution brings with a range of legal and ethical challenges that publishers, authors, and the users must navigate to ensure the responsible practices in the dissemination of knowledge. So, last classes we already covered what is e-publishing and different types of e-publications, and the legal and ethical issues we have made it two parts. The first one we are discussing about legal issues with respect to Sherpa, Romeo, and Creative Commons. And the second part we will be covering on ethical issues in the e-publishing with a special reference to COAP and WAME guidelines. In today's agenda, we having what is Sherpa Romeo and what are different legal and ethical implications and how the Sherpa and Romeo uh, will be helping us to solve these issues. Issues of Sherpa Romeo, what is Creative Commons and what are different types of Creative Commons licenses and legal and ethical implications of Creative Commons, challenges and limitations, and the concluding part. So, in this introduction part, we can say that in the contemporary digital era, scholarly publishing has become more dynamic and accessible than ever before. Researchers worldwide contribute to an ever growing repository of knowledge, enabling groundbreaking discoveries and cross disciplinary collaborations. However, with this expansion comes an intricate web of legal and ethical challenges. Questions about copyright, licensing, open access, and intellectual property, and misconduct have emerged as significant concerns for authors, publishers, and institutions alike. So, in this in the week term, we are concentrating on this electronic publishing and various issues that we faced while publishing material electronically and while disseminating the content to our users. So, this electronic publishing, these issues, what we discuss issues, intellectual open access, licensing, copyright, ethical, and misconduct, this has been merged as a significant concern or problem for authors, publishers, and institutions. So, we will be also discussing what are different solutions, how to overcome all these problems. The digital age has transformed the way academic work is shared, necessitating tools and frameworks that address these issues. So obviously, the platforms like Sherpa Romeo guide researchers on self-archiving policies and Creative Commons licenses provide flexible copyright management. Together, these resources ensure that authors can share their work ethically, legally, and with a maximum reach. Learners, now let us discuss about what is Sherpa Romeo. Sherpa Romeo is a vital tool for researchers navigating the self-archiving policies of academic publishers. By simplifying and categorizing complex copyright agreements, it empowers authors to determine how they can share their published or pre-published work through repositories, ensuring compliance with the publisher guidelines. The Sherpa Romeo was launched in the year 2000 as a part of broader Sherpa project. Sherpa Romeo was designed to support the burgeoning open access movement. At that time, researchers often found themselves restricted by publishers' opaque policies on sharing their work. Sherpa-Romeo addressed this gap by offering a user-friendly database that categorizes journals based on their self-archiving permissions, represented through a simple color-coded system that is green, blue, yellow, and white. The color code green indicates that the publishers with the green classification allow authors to self-archive both the preprint, that is the version before peer review, and the post-print, the peer-reviewed final accepted version of their articles. That means those publishers having the green classification group, they will allow the users to self-archive preprint as well as post-print of their articles. Some may also permit the archiving of the publisher's final PDF. For example, the publishers with the green are the most open and flexible, encouraging broader access to research outputs. The publishers having the blue category allow authors to archive the post-print, that means peer-reviewed version, but not the preprint. For example, the authors can share the final accepted version, but not earlier draft. And the publishers with the white color, they don't allow self-archiving of any version of the article. This is the most restrictive category. For example, authors must rely solely on the publisher to disseminate their work with no opportunity for independent sharing. And the publishers in the red category explicitly prohibit self-archiving of any kind. These publishers often retain strict control over the dissemination of articles, limiting their availability to subscription-based access. Okay, so these are the four color codes. Now we need to discuss what are different legal and ethical implications. Understanding copyright retention, compliance with embargo policies, promoting equitable access, enabling open access initiatives, providing transparency in publisher policies, supporting ethical use of preprints. These are some legal and ethical issues which we face during the e-publishing. In the traditional publishing model, authors are often required to transfer copyright to publishers as a condition of their publication. This practice limits authors' right over their work, restricting them from sharing or reusing their articles without permission from the publisher. This scenario can create significant barriers for authors who wish to disseminate their research widely. The Sherpa-Romeo addresses this challenge by providing a clear overview of publishers' copyright policies. It categorizes journals based on whether they allow authors to retain copyright or permit them certain type of self-archiving. For instance, some publishers allow authors to share the preprint version, that means the manuscript before peer review, while others may allow archiving of the post-print version, that is peer-reviewed manuscript. This transparency empowers authors to make informed decisions about where to publish their work while retaining as many rights as possible. Next issue which we are having, that is complaints with embargo policies. Many journals enforce embargo periods. That means a time frame during which authors cannot make their archived work publicly accessible for a certain period. These periods can vary significantly, ranging from 6 months to several years. Violating these policies, even unintentionally, can lead to legal disputes, tarnishing the reputation of the researcher and their institution. Sherpa-Romeo simplifies complaints by providing detailed information about embargo durations and conditions for various journals. For instance, if a journal mandates a 12 months embargo for postprint archiving, Sherpa-Romeo ensures that the author is aware of the condition before depositing their manuscript in an institutional repository. This feature is especially beneficial for researchers working in collaborative or international projects, where multiple stakeholders may be unaware of the specific policies governing in the journal. By streamlining this process, Sherpa-Romeo minimizes the risk of non-compliance and help maintain trust between authors and the publishers. Now we have to discuss the next one, promoting equitable access. Sherpa-Romeo plays a crucial role in promoting equitable access by facilitating self-archiving, a practice that allows authors to make their research work freely available in repositories or personal websites. By enabling authors to identify journals that support self-archiving, Sherpa-Romeo contributes to the broader open access movement, which seeks to eliminate paywalls by democratize access to knowledge. For example, an independent researcher or a student in a developing country may not have access to a costly subscription to a high impact journals. However, if the article is self archived in an institutional repository, it will become accessible to anyone with an internet connection. This approach not only benefits individuals but strengthens global research collaborations by ensuring that all stakeholders have access to the same information or knowledge. And the high cost of academic journal subscriptions create a significant barriers to accessing scholarly literature, particularly for researchers and institutions in developing countries. This knowledge divide restricts global participation in research and perpetuates inequalities in the academia. Enabling open access initiatives. Sherpa Romeo not only inform researchers about their rights but also actively supports the broader movement for open access in scholarly publishing. As a part of open access ecosystem, Sherpa Romeo encourages the practice of self-archiving that we already discussed. By aligning with journals that offer open access models, researchers contribute to the global democratization of knowledge, ensuring that research findings are not restricted to institutions that can afford high subscription cost. The next legal and ethical issue is providing a transparency in publisher policies. One of the challenges researchers face when publishing is a lack of transparency in publishers' policies. Journals often have complex rules about what authors can do with their own work after the publication. Sherpa Romeo's color coded system helps break down these policies in an easy to understand way. For example, a green label on a journal in Sherpa Romeo indicates that the publisher allows the author to achieve the preprint and postprint version of their work in institutional repositories without restriction. This clarify ensures that researchers understand their rights and obligations before submitting to a particular journal, minimizing the chance of unintentional violations. Supporting the ethical use of preprints. The use of preprints version of a research paper before peer review is becoming more common, especially in the fields like medicine and biology. Sherpa Romeo helps authors identify journals that allow the deposition of preprints, offering a more transparent way to share research findings before they undergo peer review. This helps reduce publication delays, allowing critical findings to be made available to the scientific community quickly, which is especially crucial in fast moving fields like epidemiology or climatic science. Encouraging the ethical use of preprints also aids in reducing redundancy in research and can lead to early discussions among peers that may help improve the quality of the work. Dear learners, now let us discuss what is the copyright and content licensing policies of journals. The checking of publisher copyright policies in order to establish whether or not articles can be added to the repository is one of the most tedious jobs. This means the researcher or the author need to verify before publishing their articles whether the publisher will allow our article or the research paper to post in the digital repositories or not. So the Romeo project, that is the Sherpa-Romeo project, created a list of publishers' conditions for self-archiving Sherpa, maintains the Sherpa-Romeo listing, which details the right given to authors by the major publishers of peer-reviewed academic journals. So you will be getting this www.sherpa.ac.uk/Romeo. But now this platform has been changed. Now it will be the Sherpa services now shifted to JISC's Open Policy Finder. So there, the Open Policy Finder.jisc.ac.uk, you will be finding the that website where you can check your journal will allow the permission to posting the articles in your digital repositories or not. So you can visit this website. You will find the Welcome to Open Policy Finder. In the search bar, you can search journals and you will be able to identify about the nature of the uh, archiving policies of your journal. So, dear learners, now we already covered the important features and the solutions in which the Sherpa Romeo is providing to the users, and different color codes which a journal is having to identify their archival policies, and the method how to identify the nature of archiving policy of your journal through the Sherpa Romeo website. Now it is the JIC policy website. So learners, now we are going to discuss about what is Creative Commons. Creative Commons is a global non-profit organization that provides free standardized copyright licenses, enabling creators to share their work while retaining control over how it is used. This was established in the year 2001. The Creative Commons aims to address the challenges posed by the traditional all rights reserved copyright system by offering a more adaptable some rights reserved approach. These licenses are particularly valuable in the digital age, where the seamless exchange of information and creative works is crucial for innovation and collaboration. These are different types of Creative Commons licenses. Creative Commons BY attribution allows authors to distribute, remix, adapt, and build upon the work, even for commercial purposes, provided the original creator is credited. CC BY-SA attribution share alike, similar to CC BY, but it requires derivatives to be licensed under identical terms. CCBY-ND attribution no derivatives permits redistribution without changes for commercial or non-commercial purposes with credit to the original creator. CCBY-NC attribution non-commercial allows reuse and adaptation for non-commercial purposes with the proper attribution. And the fifth Creative Commons license, that is CC BY NCSA, attribution non-commercial share alike, permits non-commercial reuse and adaptation with identical licensing terms and attribution. CC BY NCNT attribution non-commercial no derivatives, the most restrictive licenses allowing redistribution only for non-commercial purposes without modifications and with attribution. Legal and ethical implications of Creative Commons. The legal and ethical implications are simplifying copyright management, promoting open access and knowledge sharing, encouraging ethical reuse of content, fostering collaboration across borders, addressing misuse and compliance issues. Simplifying copyright management means traditional copyright laws often deter creators from sharing their work freely due to concerns over misuse and unauthorized commercialization. If the Now let us discuss what is simplifying copyright management. Traditional copyright laws often deter creators from sharing their work freely due to concerns over misuse or unauthorized commercialization. Creative Commons licenses provide a standardized framework that eliminate the ambiguity surrounding copyright permissions. By explicitly stating how a work can be used, Creative Commons licenses empower creators to retain control while encouraging ethical reuse. For instance, a musician using a Creative Commons by license ensures their work can be remixed and distributed as long as credit is given, fostering collaboration and innovation. Such a transparent licensing also benefits users by deeply defining what is permissible, reducing the risk of legal disputes. Promoting open access and knowledge sharing in this Creative Commons plays a vital role in promoting open access across disciplines from education to scientific research. By enabling creators to license their work for free distribution, Creative Commons bridges the gap between content creators and the users. Educational resources like Open Educational Resources (OER) often use CC licenses, making high quality learning materials accessible to underserved communities. For example, MIT Open Courseware initiative, which uses CC, BY, and CSA licenses, has revolutionized education by providing free access to course materials worldwide. Similarly, in research, Creative Commons licenses facilitate the dissemination of findings, ensuring that critical discoveries are not confined to paywalled journals but reach a global audience. Encouraging ethical reuse of content, the Creative Commons licenses promote ethical behavior by mandating attribution and adherence to specified conditions. By requiring, by requiring users to credit the original creators, CC ensures that creators receive due recognition for their work. This recognition is particularly important in creative industries where authorship is a cornerstone of professional reputation. Moreover, CC licenses discourage unethical practices such as plagiarism and unauthorized commercialization. For instance, a filmmaker using a CC, BY, and CSA licensed soundtrack must attribute the composer and cannot monetize the film without complying with the license terms. Such safeguards uphold the integrity of the creative ecosystem. Another important feature of Creative Commons is fostering collaboration across borders. In an interconnected world, Creative Commons licenses enable seamless collaboration across geographic and cultural boundaries. They provide a common legal framework that transcends national copyright laws, allowing creators from different regions to work together without the burden of negotiating complex agreements. Addressing misuse and compliance issues. While Creative Commons licenses offer many benefits, they are not immune to misuse. Users may fail to comply with license terms, such as neglecting attribution or using non commercial licensed work or profit. Such violations not only undermine the creator's right but also compromise the ethical foundation of the Creative Commons system. Creative Commons provides detailed guidelines and tools like the CC license chooser to educate users about proper license applications and compliance. Additionally, creators have legal recourse if their Creative Commons licensed work is misused, ensuring that their rights are protected. Now let us discuss the challenges and limitations. The major challenges are lack of awareness and understanding. Despite its widespread adoption, many creators and users remain aware about the guidelines of and licensing power of Creative Commons. And sometimes there is a misinterpretation of license terms that can lead to unintentional violations. And efforts to increase awareness through workshops and online resources are essential to address this gap. And another important challenge is limited legal enforcement. While Creative Commons licenses provide a legal framework, enforcing complaints can be challenging, particularly in cases involving cross border issues. Compatibility with the other licensing system is another challenge and the limitation of Creative Commons. Not all Creative Commons licenses are compatible with other open licensing systems, such as those used by open source softwares. This incompatibility can hinder the integration of Creative Commons licensed content into projects that require adherence to specific licensing terms. So, dear learners, let us conclude that as scholarly publishing evolves in the digital age, the need to navigate legal and ethical challenges becomes more critical. Sherpa-Romeo simplifies the copyright and self-archiving policies, and the Creative Commons offers a flexible approach to copyright management. Despite their significant contributions, these tools face challenges like a lack of awareness, inconsistent implementation, and limited global representation. To address these challenges, the e-publishing industry should strive for transparent terms of service and licensing agreement that balance the rights of publishers, authors, and the users. A technological solution is another solution which we can use to address the challenges, that is use of digital rights management, DRM, and other tools to protect the copyright while allowing fair use. And training for stakeholders on intellectual property rights, ethical publishing practices, and compliance with the relevant laws should be given. And the partnership between publishers, libraries, and academic institutions to promote open access and ethical policies should be done. Moving forward, a continued collaboration and the uh, evolution of these platforms will be essential in ensuring ethical and equitable access to scholarly communication and dissemination of knowledge, addressing emerging challenges and fostering responsible research dissemination. With these words, I wish to signing off, and I thank all my learners for your patience listening. We will be meeting with another topic in the next class. Till then, goodbye. Thank you.